but let's talk about the Diddy trial. So,
Yes.
so many celebrities continue to be name dropped during this explosive testimony in the Sean Diddy Combs trial. Whitney Houston's been named, Mike Myers, Mariah Carey, a few A-list stars who came up during the testimony during the third week of Diddy's sex trafficking and racketeering trial.
Katt Williams has claimed a bunch of big-name celebrities might be in serious trouble because of their connection to Diddy. People are asking why the music industry's most powerful couple, Jay-Z and Beyoncé, are suddenly trying so hard to stay far away from him. It could be because Diddy is expected to snitch on them both.
Will Diddy start snitching?
He better. But the only thing I'm interested in him talking about is everything he knows about Kathy Coriana White. See, I know you know what happened to Corey. Diddy, I know that. You and Jay-Z down in Vegas at Tao with Claudia. Why don't you just talk about Kathy? That might help. That might help a lot.
More on the Kathy White case later in the video. For now, we've been digging through court documents, lawsuits, and police reports to figure out what Diddy's next move might be. Will he try to save himself by blaming other celebrities? Or is he ready to take the full hit for what he's accused of? Let's break it down. Because a lot of big names are tied up in this, from famous rappers to Hollywood stars and even Super Bowl performers. Could Diddy's trial end up being the moment that changes the whole entertainment industry for good? One thing's clear. Jay-Z and Beyoncé are backing away fast.
You've said it on several occasions yourself, Mrs. Carter. He taught you how to be a woman. He taught you how to be everything you are. Your beautiful husband. I don't even know how people kept straight faces when she was accepting that award and said, my beautiful husband.
I'd like to thank my beautiful husband, my beautiful 3 children who are at home watching.
Beautiful where? In his pockets? In his pockets? Because you can look at this Joe Camel looking gonna call that beautiful? It ain't his spirit, cause it's nasty. It ain't his soul, cause it's dark. He only cares about himself. He's selfish. And he's proving it right now. With all that's going on with Diddy. You go a whole year without making a comment. You don't say nothing. You totally go ghost, and then you wait until you are finally called out. And right before the avalanche comes, now all of a sudden, that's not your friend? What about your friend? Are they gonna let you down? Are they gonna be around? Yeah.
Jay-Z and Diddy go way back. When Jay was an up-and-coming rapper from Brooklyn, he was close friends with the notorious Big, the same Biggie who was signed by Diddy in the early 90s. Over the years, Jay and Diddy did a bunch of songs together like Young G's and I Know What Girls Like. They were both from humble beginnings, but built billion-dollar empires in music, fashion, and business. They were seen together in public all the time. And since Jay and Beyoncé were always together, it made sense that Diddy was often around her too. In fact, Beyoncé and Diddy even made music together. She showed up at his parties, sat courtside at games with him, and went to his 50th birthday bash. Rapper DaBaby once said the first time he met Beyoncé and Jay-Z was actually at a Diddy party in LA, where only about 15 people were invited. From the outside, it looked like a strong team of powerful music icons. But when you look closer, it gets weird. Because many people feel that Jay-Z and Beyoncé are setting up Diddy. The interesting part here is that Jay-Z actually has a history of destroying other people.
Jaguar Wright told us that Diddy was being set up by Jay-Z. And this is the one thing I never forget, because she said, how do you guys not see the lineup? Jay-Z has lined up person after person over the years to stay #1, and he's not doing shit different than all of these other people like Diddy and R. Kelly. The first person she named in this lineup was D. Haven, and D. Haven and Jay-Z were childhood best friends. And D. Haven has spoke out against Jay-Z for years, saying that he believed that Jay-Z set him up with the feds to get arrested. Jaguar Wright also listed Big L, and Big L is who gave Jay-Z his start in the hip-hop industry, and then Big L was randomly murdered. And then Jaguar Wright talked about Jay-Z setting up Dame Dash and everything that he did to him during the Rockefeller days, and even said that Jay-Z took his love Aaliyah, and I mean by living her. Jaguar Wright explained that the only reason that Jay-Z treated Dame Dash this way is because he was so mad at the fact that Dame Dash got Aaliyah and that Aaliyah didn't want to be with him. And the crazy part is Dame Dash even confirmed this and talked about it.
The most fucked up shit was Aaliyah dying. That was the most fucked up shit. And all the shit I had to deal with that. You'd be surprised how people act when they think you're hurt. That's when they really start trying to make moves on you. But
that's when they try to make moves on you? That's terrible.
You remember that when that time I was beefing in Def Jam and shit? When I was, they got that tape of me flipping on Kevin Lyles, and they made that meeting to do some shit behind my back. So that's when they go. And, business is ruthless like that. Life is ruthless like that. Jay was trying to get at her as well, and I didn't know. And then, it got brought up, and I was like, F both of y'all. But it never worked out for them, and we were both, trying to get at her. I kind of eased up, but then we ran into each other. It's a long story.
Was he bitter?
Obviously. Yeah, he felt the way.
The true reason of Rockefeller's breakup.
But everybody knows that shit. One of our last texts before she went there, because she couldn't text from there, and it was the BlackBerry at the time, was I don't like the plane. And I literally was like, don't get on it. I literally was like, don't get on it. But it was like, we were squashed.
In addition to this, there are also rumors that Jay-Z actually tried to get rid of Aaliyah because it would benefit Beyoncé's career.
Spoke about all of this, that Jay-Z is the one that set this up to happen because of his jealousy, to move his friends out the way, and to also help boost Beyoncé's career at the time. And one part of what Jaguar Wright says gives me the chills is when Mary J. Blige was literally talking about Aaliyah's death, and she said that it was a And the way she explained it as Mary J. Blige being Diddy's girl and the woman that she was talking to being Free from 106th and Park, who allegedly had an affair with Jay-Z.
The memory of Aaliyah. Yeah, this is my crew. We put, the stylist and gave everybody with and then, this, I don't even know what to say. I just know that was a murder. You know what I'm saying? That was a spiritual murder. Whether people know it or not. Because God don't kill people. You know what I'm saying? Whether people know it or not. And I could go deep, but a lot of people I would have to really bring home. You know what I'm saying? For what I learned. And she just was cut down in the prime of her life. And it's so unfair. And it wasn't time. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't, I believe it wasn't her time to go because from what I know, it ain't supposed to go down like that. And just simple obedience, your gut always won you. That's that your gut never lies.
Then she explained how Jay-Z set up R. Kelly because he really wasn't doing anything different than what R. Kelly was doing. Jaguar Wright said that she believed that Jay-Z was the one that was behind making Surviving R. Kelly because his best friend, Dream Hampton, is the one that produced and made Surviving R. Kelly. As you can see, Dream Hampton is an American filmmaker, producer, and writer, and her work includes the 2019 Lifetime documentary Surviving R. Kelly, and she also co-wrote Jay-Z's 2010 memoir Decoded. And Dame Dash said one of the reasons why he hated Jay-Z so much is the fact that he continued to work with R. Kelly after knowing everything that R. Kelly did to Aaliyah. He went on to do the Best of Both Worlds tour with R. Kelly after this, and this also caused more of the Dame Dash and Jay-Z feud that we saw. And it was super weird because at the time, Jay-Z and R. Kelly made a song called Guilty Until Proven Innocent. He explains that Jay-Z is basically moving all of these people out of the way to stay number one, and she said you have to see it because he is no different than all of these other people like Diddy and R. Kelly. This is why Jaguar Wright thinks that Jay-Z is the one that set up Diddy, and that's why so many people are coming out against Diddy after so many years.
Then in December 2024, things got even messier. A lawsuit came out accusing both Diddy and Jay-Z of assaulting a 13-year-old girl back in 2000 after the MTV Video Music Awards.
The rapper Jay-Z has been accused of raping a 13-year-old girl back in 2000, allegedly along with Sean Diddy Combs. Our US correspondent Martha Kellner has more details.
This civil suit was originally filed back in October against Sean Combs, better known as P. Diddy. It has now been amended to also include allegations against Jay-Z, whose real name is Sean Carter. In this civil suit, a woman says that when she was a 13-year-old girl back in the year 2000, that she attended an after party for the MTV Video Music Awards, during which she says she was raped by Jay-Z and P. Diddy. She says that Jay-Z removed her clothes, pinned her down and her while P. Diddy and an unnamed female celebrity watched on. She says she was then raped by P. Diddy as Jay-Z and this female celebrity watched on once again. Jay-Z has dismissed in a lengthy statement these claims as idiotic. He's also attacked the character and legitimacy of the lawyer who has brought these claims. In his statement, Jay-Z directly addresses that lawyer. He says, "These allegations are so heinous in nature that I implore you to file a criminal complaint, not a civil one. Whomever would commit such a crime against a minor should be locked away. Would you not agree? My only heartbreak is for my family. My wife and I will have to sit our children down, one of whom is at the age where her friends will surely see the press and ask questions about the nature of these claims and explain the cruelty and greed of people. My heart and support goes out to true victims in the world who have to watch how their life story is dressed in costume for profitability by this ambulance chaser in a cheap suit." The wife, which he refers to, is of course Beyoncé, whom he's been married to since 2008 and been in a relationship for much longer than that. As for P. Diddy, he's currently in prison in New York awaiting criminal charges for sex trafficking and racketeering. He faces more than 24 civil lawsuits.
Both men denied it. Jay-Z went a step further and called the whole thing idiotic and false, saying the lawyer who filed it was trying to blackmail him. But just a few months later, in February 2025, the woman who made the claims took back her lawsuit. She said there were mistakes in her story and admitted that Jay-Z didn't hurt her. She even said her lawyer pushed her into it. The lawyer denied that, but the damage had been done. Jay-Z hit back with a lawsuit of his own, saying the whole thing was a setup meant to ruin his name and that his family even got death threats over it. However, this wasn't the complete story.
Miss Beyonce Giselle Knowles Carter just donated $100,000 to the Busby alma mater.
Oh.
Yeah.
Beyonce?
Yeah. Interesting. That Mrs. Knowles, because she's now dropped the Carter, and yeah, she's yeah.
What's going on?
She's just listed in Forbes, and now she's donating to her husband's arch enemy's alma mater in Houston, Texas, where all of those families consort and know each other and country club together and go to Joel Osteen services from time to time. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Interesting. I think Jay-Z and Beyonce is about to give us War of the Roses 2.0. Matthew Knowles has been auspiciously quiet. Wonder why. If anything goes down with the Carters, it goes down for the Knowles because they live off of what's generated from that marriage.
Definitely.
They're very quiet. Or maybe Tony Busby's just doing all the speaking for them to make sure that their daughter can break away, maintain some symbol of, oh my God, I didn't know he was a monster. I will survive. Books, tours, terrible remixes, new, footwear lines and all of this. And And if Beyonce is trying to burn the Jigga Man before it gets her brand completely, this is going to be delicious. I think they're just as grubby for what they done to R. Kelly and then give Jay-Z a fluff ball interview. Where's Gail?
Where's Gail?
Why Gail ain't got no interview for the Carters? They're such good friends.
Hey.
Where's Gail? What, she's trying to keep the brain away from Oprah before she passed out on a Ozempic again? I don't know. Where is this?
Like,
And her birthday.
Fans noticed that at the Grammy Awards, Jay and Beyoncé's bodyguard looked way more protective than usual. Some people think that's because of all the legal trouble, and maybe even fear of what's still coming. And it didn't stop there. On April 1st, 2025, another lawsuit dropped. No joke. A man named Joseph Manzaro said Diddy assaulted him at a party in 2015. But this time, a bunch of other celebrities were also named as being at the party, including Jay-Z, Beyoncé, LeBron James, and even Emilio and Gloria Estefan.
A new Diddy accuser claiming he was sexually assaulted, raped, and humiliated at a freak-off party in Miami, and that other big stars saw him in rough shape. TMZ is all over this story. Branson Quirk joining us live. Now, Branson, let me get this right. This new Diddy accuser is basically claiming he was sexually assaulted at the freak-off party, and he claims that other celebrities were there as well.
Yes, exactly. In this lawsuit, and it's important to note that these names are not being sued, but they are named as witnesses inside this lawsuit, those names being Jay-Z, Beyonce, Gloria Estefan, as well as LeBron James. Just to paint you a little bit of a picture of this horrific lawsuit, a man by the name of Joseph Manzano, he claims that he had, in the beginning of this lawsuit, he claims that he woke up in a mansion, this is way back in April of 2015, in a mansion owned by Gloria and Emilio Estefan, and when he woke up not knowing how he got there, he was then led through a tunnel to Diddy's house, and we can confirm that Diddy, his home is nearby to Gloria and Emilio Estefan's home, and once he was through this tunnel, he eventually came across and claimed that LeBron James was walking by in a towel of sorts, saw him in rough shape, and said, someone's got to do something about this, and then continuing on through that, they ended up stripping his clothes. They put a demoralizing mask on him, a genitalia mask of sorts on his face to humiliate him. And then he claims that Beyonce and Jay-Z saw him in this mask, prompting Beyonce to then ask, why is there this man in front of me wearing this mask? And then claims that going forward, he doesn't remember too much more. And he said that he was drugged and everything. So just given all of these facts, I mean, there is an alibi. TMZ did do some research. Jay-Z was actually in New York City on April 1st. So that kind of, combats this. And then going also to the claim that Jay-Z was there in general, and then the other people were there in general. It's just this lawsuit technically does sound like an April Fool's joke, but no, it is not. This is a real lawsuit filed by a real attorney, and this man claims that this did all happen.
Yeah, well, worth mentioning, Diddy is innocent until proven guilty. There's no proof that these celebrities were even at this party, and anyone can make up a false allegation against a celebrity or someone in the public eye to try and take them down, right?
No, you're absolutely right. And honestly, too, we did a little bit more research. And April 1st, LeBron James, he was in town playing in Miami the next day. So people are also pointing to that as a fact that he may have been there the night before. But there's just so many details here that when you look at this entire thing, it almost looks kind of like a screenplay was written throughout, comparing to the other lawsuits here, because it's so similar to the other lawsuits.
All right, thank you. And it's so easy to make a false accusation.
Now, to be clear, Manzaro isn't suing all those people, just Diddy and Emilio Estefan. But he said they were there when everything happened. This whole situation keeps getting wilder, and with more lawsuits and accusations piling up, it looks like this Diddy scandal might just shake the entire entertainment world to its core. As Diddy's sex crimes trial entered its 5th week, more and more famous names kept popping up in court. One of the key witnesses, a woman going by the name Mia, used to work as Diddy's assistant. She came back to the stand on Monday, June 2nd, after already telling the jury last week that Diddy abused and assaulted her during her time working for him.
Today, she testified about being raped by Combs. Asked to describe the relationship between Combs and Ventura, Mia responded, "It was a cycle of highs and lows, unequal and equal, toxic. I'd say abusive, like it was abusive towards her." On vacation in Turks and Caicos, Mia recalled Cassie Ventura running and screaming into her hotel room. She was screaming for help and saying, "You gotta help me, he's gonna kill me." Combs has pleaded not guilty to all charges. His defense team says any sexual encounters were consensual. If convicted, Combs faces the possibility of life in prison.
That Sean Combs called her into the kitchen and forced his hand up her dress. And then later in Los Angeles at his house, she recalled sleeping in a bunk bed where she said Combs forbade anyone from locking doors. And she remembered waking up to the weight of him on her, and he forced himself inside her. It was quiet. Pin drop is a bit of a cliche, Eva, but that was the kind of attention that everyone was paying as she was describing these harrowing moments.
Mia also described Cassie Ventura as like a sister. She said she was around Cassie and Combs a lot. What did she say she saw?
Yeah, and in fact, she said that Sean Combs threatened to tell Cassie about these alleged assaults, so she would effectively lose her friends. That was the kind of environment that she was seemingly living in. But she was on vacation, she said, in Turks and Caicos when Cassie Ventura came screaming into her hotel room and saying, "She's got to help me." She remembered Cassie otherwise being chill and calm, and this, she recalled, was a terrified type scream. She remembered another time where the two of them had to escape from Sean Combs after something happened. They grabbed paddle boards and paddled out to sea to get away from him, leaving him ranting and raving and following them on the beach. But Eva, think of this entire scene. She says that as his personal assistant, she was made to sit in the bathroom with him while she's on the toilet, was made to be in his closet, where she said another sexual assault occurred when he forced himself in her mouth. And so she felt like he was the king. She had nowhere to go.
The jury was shown text messages between Mia and Diddy that brought up another well-known and now disgraced name, R. Kelly. These messages are part of a large collection of texts the defense team has been using to try and show that Mia kept a friendly relationship with Diddy, even though she says he hurt her. In one message from 2019, Mia texted Diddy, "I had a nightmare. I was trapped in an elevator with R. Kelly and you came to rescue me." R. Kelly is currently serving a 30-year prison sentence after being convicted in 2022 for sex trafficking and racketeering. Coincidentally, Diddy is now facing those same types of charges. You know who else was connected to Diddy and R. Kelly? Jay-Z.
I know you mentioned the best of both worlds with R. Kelly. Have you maintained any type of contact with R. Kelly since?
We spoke, like, you know what I'm saying, we spoke a couple times, but I don't really want to be like, I know he's getting calls from everywhere, and some people are really concerned. Some people just want to be nosy. They want to know what's going on in the guy's life. I don't want to be another person like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, got love for the dude. I mean, if he's guilty, I just hope and pray that he get help. If he's not, I wish everybody, you know what I'm saying, everybody embrace him, and whatever. You know what I'm saying? But our contact is just sparse.
Okay. Were you, as a solo artist, were you concerned about that whole ordeal affecting you the next time you came out with this album?
I was not concerned for my career, like as far as an artist. I know, like, I mean, I wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know that. Like, I know I ain't have nothing to do with that. So, the alleged incident. You know what I'm saying? So, it was just, I was more so. If the one word and one feeling that I could, I think about when I think about the album is just like blown opportunity. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, what we did with the album as far as, like, we was in the process of touring. Like, we was putting together a show, like 2 hours straight. Like, you do 3 songs, run on stage. I'm gonna do 3 songs, run on stage. We're gonna change the set. Then we're gonna come back and do Fiesta together. Then we're gonna come do this one again. You know what I'm saying? It would have been something real creative, and that's the whole reason why that album came together, was let's do something creative and new that nobody really done before. Is bring these 2 genres of music together and make something really crazy, and then go out on tour and go make history. We'd probably be in Europe right now.
Yeah, that would have.
Yeah, they would probably have 4 legs on that tour. That
Right.
would have been a beast.
Could have been 5 legs, you know. Yeah, that definitely.
These new testimonies came as federal prosecutors laid out even more disturbing accusations. They say that for years, Diddy used threats, violence, and his massive music empire to control and silence women. According to them, he forced women into extreme days-long sexual situations he called freak-offs, and then used everything from guns to drugs to keep it all hidden.
Photos of Diddy's freak-off evidence was just released. And these are all the photos from the hotel room that the feds raided when they arrested Diddy. We have to start out with this clonazepam, because you know your girl be deep diving, and this medication bottle that they found has the name Frank Black on it. Cassie Ventura said in her testimony multiple times that Frank Black was Diddy's alias that he would use during these freak-offs when getting hotel rooms and more. Now, there wasn't a doctor that we could see listed on this medicine bottle, but you know me, I went and did some digging on things that I could find, and we are about to get into it, but I do want to touch on one crazy thing. Now, if you didn't know, clonazepam is an anxiety medicine, and it can also be used to relax tense muscles. But this freaks me out, because if you remember, in Cassie Ventura's statement, she said how she would get so anxious before these freak-offs, sometimes she would even vomit during them, and Diddy would tell her to continue. This made me think of Diddy's ex-assistant, Philip Pines, who was on the fall for Diddy, who said that it was his job to set up these freak-offs, who released text messages between him and Christina Korm, voice memos for Diddy, and even admitted that he testified to the grand jury. In the text messages that he released, this is one of the substances that Christina Korm would ask him to bring Diddy. And I'm cooking, just stay with me. So on this bottle, it says 2811 Wilshire Boulevard Suite 610. Now, it seems like Diddy got this medicine prescribed to him under the alias Frank Black from Lifespan Medicine, because this is the same address, Suite 610. When you look up Lifespan Medicine, it shows that they have a holistic doctor, and keep this in mind. You guys know I stayed in the court dockets way before this trial even started, and one of the things that Diddy was arguing is that he wanted all of the evidence thrown out from the search warrants of his home, but the government said that they had more than enough probable cause from all of these people listed for all of these different things, including narcotic offenses. Just all of these people listed right here were enough probable cause to charge Diddy with narcotic offenses. A-list assistant one up at the top is being one of these people that corroborated this information with another person known as producer one. They said assistant one and producer one's information corroborated each other about narcotic offenses, and I believe that these two people are Philip Pines and Little Rod Jones, because both of these people worked during the Love album era.
Now 55 years old, Diddy is facing 5 serious criminal charges. 1 for racketeering conspiracy, 2 for using force, lies, or pressure, and 2 for transporting people to take part in prostitution. The case continues to grow bigger and darker as each new witness takes the stand. Do you think we'll see him sentenced? Let us know in the comments.